on the streets. Please take it easy. We only have one segment on the buzz this morning, and I'm really excited today because you want to know why? Well, it's the very last day of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season, and we can all breathe a sigh of relief and say thank you, Jesus, for bringing us through another quiet season. Now, let's Paul. Good morning to Silver Fox holding it down. Where's my theme song this morning, Fox? He said it's gone. It went with the hurricane season, so I'm glad. So this morning we have one guest in the studio. It's good to have guests in the studio. I love when you're on the phone, but when you're in the studio, I love it even better. We're going to speak with a young female Caymanian business owner, and she's here to give us a good perspective on a variety of topics this morning. Now, I want to say good morning to Cynthia Hugh. Cynthia is the owner of Bon Vivant, Better Living. Good morning, Cynthia.
Good morning, Anita. How are you?
I am good. This was supposed to be a round table.
Yeah.
But now it's just me and you.
That's fine. I think I can hold it down with you.
We can hold it down, right?
We will be just fine.
We can hold it down. I'm not sure if our other guest is going to come, if he's got caught up in traffic or whatever. But if not, he can join us by telephone. We'll be happy to have him. But in the meantime, Cynthia, you started Bon Vivant when?
I did. I started in 2008, so it's 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
A kitchen store.
Congrats.
Yeah, well, thank you. It has been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but I am grateful for every opportunity that God has granted me. It has been quite an amazing run. We're a kitchen store. We were originally located in Governor Square and moved from Governor Square to Camana Bay, I'd say about 12 years ago now. Mm-hmm. It has been a really wonderful experience, having the community supporting us locally, buying locally. Going through something like COVID, it was, I think it was a game changer for us. It really, and I think not just Bon Vivant, but probably other local businesses, it really had me get very creative and take a different approach to business as a whole. You know, we are a retail kitchen store. We have small wares, gadgets and such, but it's all about experience for us. It's not as though we want somebody to come in and just buy something from us. We want to have a relationship with that person. We want them to know what they're buying and know that we stand behind the products that we sell. So we're a kitchen store that has small wares, gadgets and such. We also do large residential appliances. We have a full demonstration kitchen where we do cooking classes and events. I feel like it's a partnership with our customers that come in. And
I like that.
Thank you. And so that's kind of what we've based the business on. And I was talking earlier just now about COVID and the challenges as a business owner in a small community like Cayman. You know, you really had to get really creative and understand what's a different approach. If people aren't coming into your store, what else can you do? So, we really ramped up our website, and we are not the only ones locally. A lot of local small businesses really went with an e-com approach. Mm-hmm. And so the company itself has evolved from just four walls and goods and services offered under the roof to more stepping outside of the store and offering services where we come to you and assist, small wares packages where we come to you and do the installation of those goods. If you need a replacement item, we come to you and we take measurements and such when it comes to your appliances and things like that. So it is, it's a special place. I'm really happy to know that I've got a great team and the local community has supported us all these years.
Okay. Cynthia, we're going to have Richard Christian join us. Richard, good morning.
Good morning. Apologies, I didn't realize traffic was this bad.
No, when is it ever good, Richard?
I'm a 9 a.m. guy, so that's
you're
why
9 a.m. guy.
Morning traffic, yeah.
That's fine. That's all right. Well, that's okay. Good morning to you, though, Richard.
Morning, Cynthia.
Good morning, Richard.
Richard, he was supposed to be in the studio, right, Richard? And this should have been our entrepreneur round table. We don't exactly have a round table, sort of octagon shape. Octagon shape, whatever. But it's good to have you, Richard. Now, you and Cynthia, you're both young Caymanian business owners, and Richard, you've been in business how long ago? How long since you started yours?
We just celebrated our 3-year anniversary this October.
Wow, well, congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
And Cynthia's been in business for 15 years. So that's a pretty good, uh, what, age difference? Yeah, pretty good. Now, Richard, you're the owner of Pick a Service.
Correct.
Right. So tell us a little bit about your business.
So, Pick a Service is a multi-service business, and the whole idea behind it was, when me and my wife was forming the company, just after COVID, actually, was we were looking for something where it was kind of like a one-stop shop where people can turn to when they need something done. So we're first and foremost a concierge business, but we have multiple other services that we offer. And the idea kind of came from, when you go to Walmart or you look at Amazon, they basically have everything. You can go there and you can get just about anything you want. And we wanted to kind of duplicate that into a service where, you think of one place that you can get, basically all of your services and anything that you need done. So, like I said, first and foremost, we're a premium concierge service, but we also do freight forwarding, online shopping. We provide notary services. We provide DVDL services. And we're actually branching off into the airport transport business for VIPs.
Okay.
So, I mean, just about anything that you can think of, which is kind of in the name. You pick it, we'll do it. Pick a service. So that is the concept behind it.
All right. So you provide all this stuff. I like the airport pickup though. That's it's airport pickup. Am I correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
So the
Okay.
premium service where
Premium
you
service.
have the premium SUVs. There's a demand for that. You see where we have a number of hotels that are building, and especially now where we're going into the high season, there is a lot of demand for people coming in, and they want that experience to be chauffeured in a nice SUV, nice vehicle for coming to the Cayman Islands.
Good service too. Good service. Richard, okay, so you've been in business 3 years, Cynthia 15. Now, Cynthia, I know we just spoke about you having that in-store demonstration and stuff like that. Now, it's basically called an experiential design.
It is,
And it's a process where it's designed to tell a story.
Yeah, and it's an opportunity for other people to tell theirs. I think Richard brought up a good point where he said, the demand has really helped create his business, and same with Bon Vivant. We really saw that there was a need for people to know when they come in somewhere, they know exactly what they're getting. So our staff are knowledgeable, they're trained on the equipment that we sell, the goods and service that we sell. We stand behind the products that we sell. And, when you talked about the story, that's exactly it. When somebody comes into the store, they don't know what they're really looking for. They know they like to cook. And so they might be looking for a pot, a pan, they might be looking for a range, they might be looking. And I feel like our staff are there to help guide them through that process. And when we first opened the store, the whole concept was you don't buy a Rolls Royce without test driving it, right? So the equipment that we sell is on display for somebody to come in, and if you want to use a steam oven and see how to steam that chicken, come on in. We'll take the chicken out, we'll put it in there, so you can tell your own story, you can have your own experience, and really understand if this is an investment that you would like to add to your home. So I going back to again Richard saying the demand, I look at Cayman, it has really grown over the years, and as people's preferences. They really want to know what they're buying. At the end of the day, money is valuable, and it's one of those things where if I'm going to spend money on something, I want to make sure that I'm getting value for that money.
That's
and
right.
I do believe that when people come and they experience a moment with us, even if it's somebody that's outfitting their entire kitchen with all of our kitchen appliances, they know that they have a trusted partner. So if there is an issue with one of their hoods, or they're not quite sure how something is supposed to be vented out, our experts go in and advise. So we don't just sell you something and let you go. To me, it's a partnership. We're with you for as long as you would like us to be.
And I guess the same thing will go for services, right, Richard?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, Richard, we've got to take a quick break, so please stay on the line. Don't go anywhere. Are you driving? No, you're not driving.
Actually, I'm in the parking lot coming in right now.
Oh, you're coming into the studio.
I was just a little behind. That's all.
All right. Well, I'm happy to have you. We're going to take a quick break. Thanks to our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years of service in the Cayman Islands and Boxed Cayman, from our kitchen to yours.
This holiday season, enjoy a hassle-free feast with your whole family with a holiday in a box. A complete holiday dinner that easily serves 8 to 10 people. Prepared by executive chefs, canapes, carved turkey and ham, sides and 2 desserts. No shopping, no food prep, and no kitchen cleanup. Simply pop the dishes in the oven. And within 60 minutes, your holiday feast is ready to be savored. Pre-orders are now open. Only $175, serving 8 to 10 people. Placing your holiday in a box order is easy. Simply visit boxed.ky. That's boxed.ky.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Prohibited species are plants and animals which cannot be imported into the Cayman Islands because they pose a serious risk to local habitats. If certain species like the poisonous Brazilian pepper plant, the boa constrictor snake, or other aggressive invasive species were to get loose in the wild, they could harm humans and Cayman's native species, many of which are already struggling to survive. Please report exotic pets or plants to keep Cayman safe. Learn more at conservation.ky/alien-species.
Announcing the winners of the Rotary Central Music Extravaganza 2023, held Saturday night, November 25th. First prize winner of $40,000 goes to ticket holder 05981, Cruz Echeniki. Second prize of $4,000 goes to ticket holder 06230, Dr. Nagaraja. 6 $1,000 prizes as follows. Ticket number 04672, Esther Rivers. Ticket number 06670, Angela Arden. Ticket number 04025, Claude Terry. Ticket number 05797, A. Brophy. Ticket number 05328, Tony Powell. Ticket number 09378, Cecilia Solomon. Watch and listen to the press for details. Rotary, helping to create hope in the world.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. Good morning if you're just joining us. We only have one segment on the bus today, and we're pleased to have in studio from the owner of Bon Vivant, Better Living, Mrs. Cynthia Hugh, and the owner of Pick a Service, Mr. Richard Christian. Good morning to both of you again. And this is officially our round table.
You made it in past the traffic in town.
Yeah.
Was it
One
horrible out
cruise
there?
ship.
Yeah, well, actually, I heard on the radio, so it's 2 out there, so that's
Okay.
why. But yeah, like I shared earlier, I'm a 9 a.m. guy, so
Oh,
usually,
you're the right kind of guy, Richard.
Yeah.
You're the right kind of guy. So, Richard, we know what business you do, and so Cynthia. Now, tell us about the business landscape in Cayman. How you've only been in business 3 years.
Correct.
So, but you've been around, so you know exactly what it's like. But how, for both of you, has it evolved for both of you in your businesses?
Well, I would have to say I went from a staff complement of 2 to a staff complement of 6, and then beyond that, when
Now
we're
that's
busy
growth.
season. Yeah, busy season, we have some additional part-time staff.
Okay.
But I was saying during the break, it's To me, a team is so incredibly valuable. I could not do what I do if I didn't have the team that I currently have. You know, when we first started out, it was literally 2 people, and I had just given birth to my son, and it was crazy times. It was not unusual to find him somewhere on the floor behind me sleeping, because that's what you do in small business. You are a jack of all trades. We were very similar starting out, trying to be a one-stop shop because Cayman is so small, and we don't necessarily have the inventory of people. So you have to be creative, and you have to provide what is demanded out there. So it was not just a retail store, it was also large appliances, it was also design, and we continue to grow and evolve as a company. But as I was saying, like a team is so incredibly valuable. You know, there's 2 things for entrepreneurs to really think about, and it's either you can work on your business or you can work in your business. Starting out, you do both. You do everything. You do. Yeah. When we started earlier, I said blood, sweat, and tears because it is true. You will bleed, you will sweat, and you will cry. I have my favorite little spot in my storeroom where sometimes, years ago, I would just find a little hole and sit there and cry. And then dust yourself off and say, okay, we got this. We'll figure out the next step. But now I feel very grateful that it's not just me working in the business. I have the opportunity to spend those days strategizing, figure out how is this business going to evolve over the next 5 years. You know, the first 5 years we did this. The next 5 years we did that. And then, you know, now we're at 15 years, and it's the community really allows us to continue growing. But it's important that you spend the time working on your business because there's competition. When we first started out, there was maybe 4 people or 4 businesses that, you know, we had to keep an eye on. Now there's 14.
Dang. Wow.
So it's, and I think it's great. Competition is what keeps us alive, right? And creative. So, I think when it comes to the evolution, you have to keep your eyes open. You have to rely on your team, and you have to listen to your customers. At the end of the day, if they're not happy, you need to respond to them. You can't just put blinders on and ignore them. If you don't have the answers right away, just be honest. And I think that is what is a staple of a solid business.
Anything you want to add to that, Richard?
Wow, Cynthia said it perfectly. I mean,
because you're a service. You're a service. So
well, in a nutshell, she just summed up, you know, where we are currently, where she started off. You know, she's 15 years now. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're 3 years, and I echo
Congrats
everything.
to you too.
Thank you. I echo everything she said about, you know, the blood, sweat, and tears because it's hard. Working, you know, me and my wife, and we have an infant and everything. So yeah, it's very hard. But in terms of evolving, like she said, you know, competition is good, and it keeps you on your toes, and it forces you to be innovative. It forces you to be different. But most importantly, I'm sure with Cynthia's business, Pick a Service, it demands excellence of us. And, you know, the type of business that we do there, you know, particularly the freight forwarding services, there's a number of companies that are doing that now, and we're seeing them pop up, you know, so often because Cayman is a country where we don't export everything is imported. So a lot of companies are doing the freight forwarding service. But I think one thing that stands out in every single business is, you know, fees are good if it's low. But the most important thing is service. People want great customer service. Absolutely. And that's something that we focus on. And I think that's a characteristic that will never change in business. It always has to be about the customers.
So this is your niche. You go that extra mile.
Yeah, that's
Call
the key.
Richard
I'm not
he'll
happy.
Come and unpack.
I'm not happy unless the customer is happy, and that's the honest truth. That's 100%. The honest truth. Yeah.
And then you know what? Like even though I say I've got a great team, if a customer wants to speak to me, I'm the first person that will pick up the phone and have that conversation. Sometimes very difficult conversations because I don't have control over it. But that's what you do. Your name is your virtue. That's all you have. Yeah. So it's really important if you align yourself with your own business. It's a part of you, and you can't ignore that.
And that touch customers like that, even when something goes south, for you to personally pick up the phone and call them and talk about it. I mean, they mightn't be happy, but I think the point that, you know, the manager or the owner or whatever called you to try to remedy it or apologize, that goes a long mile as well.
The fact that you reach out.
Yeah.
And then the expectations here locally as well, because it is such a small community and everyone tends to know everyone. Yeah. You know, I guarantee you what retailers overseas do not have the that touch point that we have here locally. If I'm at the grocery store, someone will stop me and ask a question. That would not happen if you bought, a refrigerator from Home Depot. You don't have a direct line of contact with the decision maker. And I think that that's what makes us so special. And it also makes us really strive for that excellence because you have no choice.
Exactly, your name's on the line. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just love listening to the two of you.
Thank you.
You're not competing businesses, which is good. I mean, it would be nice to have a competing business in here too, to see how they work.
Yeah.
But it's good to listen to you, young Caymanians pushing through. And
I love that you keep calling me young. Anita, I'm just going to take you and put you in my pocket and take you around with me all day.
Yeah, I'll cheer you up. No, it's competition in any business, but you hold your own because you know how to work your business. And to me, Richard, like you say, just calling that customer when something goes wrong, and just come. Your voice is just a comfort to them, even if they have to wait 3 weeks for something. Cynthia, do you special order?
We do. In fact, we were talking earlier about COVID and the challenges of COVID. I mean, we had people doing orders, and then things weren't coming in for 12 to 16 months, and it was getting creative. And there are times when a business may appear as though it's thriving, but you have to make decisions where there's a loss because you needed to make sure that customer was taken care of. I've brought equipment in that I know was available to put in a spot for somebody because their equipment was going to be not coming until 18 months down the line. I took that on, right? But that's what you do as a business because you promise that customer that you have them, that you're going to be there to take care of them. And so that's when we were talking earlier about the blood, sweat, and tears. It is very difficult sometimes. There's highs and lows of being that entrepreneur, and you have to hold it in. I mean, I do feel as like sometimes my staff will agree I may overshare, but I will never take them down the road of lost hope. I will always make sure that it will be okay. That's my anthem. And I hope my customers see that and can relate to that when they do business with us, that we will find a way. There is never a no. There's always possibility. And so, we had to get very creative and figure out ways to provide people with goods that we couldn't get access to. But it was also a lesson. Richard, you provide services. No one can take a service away. But when you have stock or inventory that you can't get, your business is vulnerable. So we've had to be creative where, now we offer design services. We do internal freight goods for ourselves. Our for freight forwarding because it was more affordable to bring that in-house. But we've got soft services now that earn us an additional revenue, where before we were so product focused. So that was a lesson in COVID. And I think as a small business, you have to constantly be evolving, listening to the market, paying attention to what your competition is doing. And I say market, I don't just mean locally. People here have the opportunity to travel and purchase overseas. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I online browse constantly. When I'm having a bad day, I was like, let me just pretend to be shopping online. So
that's my wife.
Exactly.
But it has good business for Richard, right?
Yes, good business. But if you have to realize that how does that impact my company? I can't just look at what's happening in Cayman. I need to see what's happening internationally. I look at technology. Is there technology out there that's going to make our lives easier within the store and automate more things? So it's really being open-minded, and I know we're small businesses, but why is it so bad to think that we can't be from small to medium and medium to large? Why can't Cayman have a footprint somewhere else as a business?
All right. On that note, we're going to when we come back, we'll look at some of the challenges, if any, that a small business owner is.
Oh, it's plenty.
We need another hour for this program. Text our sponsors this morning, Cayman Insurance Center and Box Cayman.
Homeowners, protecting your family and property is crucial during the season, and you should always assess insurance needs long before a storm makes landfall. Most insurers won't issue new policies or increases when a storm is imminent. Cayman Insurance Center's team of professionals can help owners like you find the most comprehensive coverage and competitive rates. Call the insurance professionals at Cayman Insurance Center 949-4657 or email info@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call Cayman Insurance Center's insurance professionals today at 949-4657.
Life can get hectic, but dinner doesn't have to be a hassle. Made with love, boxed frozen meals are preservative-free and packed with nutrition. From jerk chicken pasta to Caribbean spice pulled pork, we've got your taste buds covered. Box cares about your family and the environment. Our trays and sleeves are compostable and recyclable. With Boxed, dinner is ready in a flash. Just heat from frozen in the oven or microwave for a delicious home-cooked meal. Find our meals and desserts at your local supermarket or order through the Bento app for convenient delivery. Boxed. From our kitchen to yours.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the people's station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
Did you know that once properly sanitized, some tinned food items may still be safe for consumption after coming in contact with floodwater? In order to properly sanitize these tins, always remove labels and then wash tins in a strong detergent solution using a brush to get rid of excess impurities. Tins must then be immersed in a solution made of 2 tablespoons of chlorine bleach per gallon of water for 10 minutes. Ensure that containers are air dried before opening.
For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit DAH website at www.gov.ky/DAH.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
It's all about bon vivant, better living, and pick a service this morning. In the studio, we have 2 non-competing businesses. I have to say that.
I would say complimenting.
You do you compliment each other.
Yeah.
Since you want something shipped, there's Richard. Richard needs some pizza. What do you do, Richard?
Oh, you were saying that you went to a class?
Yeah, I was saying that.
Team building class.
Yeah, we went to a team building class at her store, and that was very fun. It was a team building event, and we learned how to make pizza from scratch. So that was really fun, and it would be something I would really encourage everyone to check it out. Even if it's not a corporate event, if you want to do something with your family or something, it was really nice.
So you bring the equipment over?
No, so because we have a large demonstration kitchen, we have team building events, we have cooking classes regularly, where people come in and they play. They come and play with us in our store.
Your store?
In the store.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
they have a restaurant. Not a restaurant. Little kitchen.
A
or
demonstration
something.
kitchen, where we have all of our appliances. And, they're great fun. Chef Maureen comes in quite often and we'll do team building events and cook-offs and face-off. We've done kids classes. It is really, I was saying earlier, it's all about that experience. If you give somebody a feeling and allow every sense to be experienced in a setting, you've got them for life. It's a story. They then share it with other people, and I feel that I hope that we do that with everything. I mean, we sell fry pans, we sell large appliances, we have all these goods, and it could be really boring. Would you like to come and buy a pot from us? But if you know the story behind that pot, its uses, brainstorm about dishes that you can create for your family during the week, the fact that it's backed by warranty, like there's, it's not just buy it and go. It's buy it and come and stay and play with us. And so that's why the classes are a
We
big
had
thing for
Ashley
us.
in here, a couple of months ago?
Ashley Lund for
Right.
IDG,
Yeah, and, Ashley said, if you can't afford, stuff that, or you can't afford pieces that cost too much, so get one piece, one expensive piece, especially in your kitchen. If I have an expensive pot, that'll make me feel good. I'm dishing up some good.
You will
meals.
have it for 20-something years or longer.
That too, right? So I'm not saying your stuff is expensive. I'm just saying a nice piece of good, good pot. But anyway, going back to challenges, Richard, what sort of challenges you face as a small business?
Yeah, well, I think Cynthia, she talked about it again earlier. Starting out, you wear many hats, especially if you're a small business starting off with little to nothing, a small capital or anything like that. You basically have to do everything. I mean, from calling, from emailing, you have to start your own processes, and many times it works. Sometimes it doesn't work.
How many do you have in staff?
Right now we have 4 people on staff. Okay. So so it's a family business. So it's my wife, my daughter, my nephew, and my brother-in-law.
That's great.
And yourself.
Yeah. Well, part-time.
Part-time.
Yeah. But so I mean the challenges are, because you're starting off, you're against the odds, there's other people who've been doing it for, 10, 15, 20 years, and you're trying to compete against people, these other businesses,
well established.
And exactly, you're trying to make a footprint in the community. You're trying to get your own clientele. So, it's stressful. It's a lot of long hours because you want to make sure you do everything right, everything excellent. Because as Cynthia said, this is a very small community, and one mess up can basically bury you. So. We've been very blessed, so fortunate from time we started our business. We got a lot of support from the community, and we continue to grow. We're seeing, growth every year, every month, so.
What's your most popular service? I'm just curious.
So it's the freight forwarding service.
The freight forwarding service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do LCL, less than container load?
Yes, we do.
I'll be calling you next week.
Pull out those cards, Richard.
Yeah.
Because shipping has been challenging, I have to say. And
okay.
I don't know when you got started with it, but after COVID, cost of shipping went through the roof.
And it continues to go up. Yeah.
Very true. And then also figuring out timing and scheduling, and it's just, there was lack of containers. There was shipping was a really challenging thing. So if you were able to provide that niche and commit to it and do it well, congratulations.
Yeah, no, well, we have, we started off just doing ocean. So we have a weekly shipment every week. We have a turnaround time from time your items reach our Miami warehouse. We have like a 2-week turnaround. And we try to focus on that to make sure clients because we listened to the market as well when we were starting out. People were complaining that, their items were on the island, but it was sometimes a week, 2-3 weeks before they actually got it.
Yes.
So from time it lands on the island, we have like a 3 to 4 day turnaround because, it has to go through customs and port and everything. But I've been in the private sector for 20 odd years, and, I've been under some great leaders and learned some great skills and understand the importance about customer service and excellence, as well as my wife. She was in the airline business prior to COVID. So we know the demands. We know what people want, and what people want is, if I'm paying for something, I want good service, and that's what we aim for. Do we make mistakes? We always do. But I think one thing that customers appreciate is when you make that call, you don't make excuses. You sincerely apologize and you make it right.
Absolutely.
One thing I love about Amazon is if something goes wrong, they're quick to say, well, sorry for your inconvenience. How can we make this right? Here's a $20 gift card.
Yes.
Yeah,
or we'll send you a new thing and
exactly.
be done with it.
And people like that. And that's how we take our approach with our business.
Amazon.
Any business will make mistakes, but the point is, how do we make it right? And then how do we learn from it?
Absolutely.
And so we go through that internally. But back to the original question, yes, starting a small business is very stressful. There was a lot of, there's still a lot of hours we put in, but at the beginning it was very stressful. Cynthia said about blood, sweat, and tears, and I think people
you have a closet too?
I think people think it's just a cliche word you use, but I literally remember me and my wife having heated discussions because why didn't you get to this email, and what are we doing about this and that and stuff, and because we were just aiming for excellence. We were aiming to ensure that we provided what we say we were going to do, and that's a great customer service to the client. So it's challenging, and I would encourage anyone that if you're going to go in it, you have to be mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually,
financially.
Everything. Exactly. Yeah, you have to be ready for it because it's hard, but it's rewarding. It's rewarding.
As a 15-year veteran by now, Cynthia, what were you still have challenges, I'm sure.
Still have challenges. I mean, up to yesterday, I was sitting down working through my marketing plan for 2024 and figuring out what are our objectives and what's our strategy to make sure that we achieve the objectives. It's challenging, but going back to having a great team, I don't know if I would be okay right now if I didn't have a good team, because in business, it can also become very stagnant in that you continuously do the same thing over and over again, and you lose a staff member, so you fill that role because you can. As a business owner, you know everything. But there's also a need to ensure personal growth. I don't expect my staff to stay in the same position forever. I want to stretch them. And I had one employee that I said, I'm going to keep you for 4 years and that'll be the max, because I see such potential in you that you need to go do something else. And I still talk to her, and I had her working for me part-time up to a few years ago. She's no longer on island. But I think it's important as an entrepreneur to be aware that you also have to continuously stretch yourself, and you can't keep going back to do the role just because you're good at it, because it will affect you and it will affect your business in the long term. So that would be my advice. It is not easy. If you think opening your own business is something, it's my lifelong dream, you better make sure that it really is your lifelong dream, because I mean, it's rare for businesses to survive. Within the first 5 years of having a business, if you make it past that, it's still challenging, but you can do it. You can overcome the struggles. And at times there are failures. I mean, I have failed, but I treat it as a lesson. In ways, I've made mistakes that have been very costly. I will never do it again. And I tell my staff the same thing. If you mess up, I got your back. Just don't ever do it again.
Where are you located?
We're located in Kaimana Bay, right across from Edgy Veggie, near to Mailbox, etc. We're open Monday through Saturday. We open at 10 o'clock until 6 o'clock. We are online, www.bonvivant.ky. We do online shopping there. You can sign up for cooking classes and events and learn more. We do design services. We've got an incredibly talented designer on property who would happily sit with you and consult if you're looking for ideas for your kitchen. It's a pretty special place, and I'm almost feeling a little emotional because it's like my child, and to know that I have a team that will protect it in the way and care for it like I do. I mean, I thank God every day. Really do.
And Richard, some numbers for you, detailed contact.
Pick
a service.
So our email address, if you want to contact us, it's info@pickaservice.ky. And our website is www.pickaservice, all one word, .ky, and our phone number is 517-PICK, 517-7425. And my lovely wife, Teresa, will gladly answer you and help you with anything you need.
Oh, you're gonna get cake tonight and ice cream.
Yeah, well, I have a question for you. What's your deadline for Christmas shipping?
It's December 8th.
December 8th. Oh, mine's December 7th.
That's
I might be calling you for sure.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Now, Richard, we're out of time. Probably, Silver Fox, we need 2 more minutes, please, before we bring the news. You have a campaign going on. When you shop, you give.
Yeah. So I'm sure Cynthia can probably say the same. A lot of people aspire to be a entrepreneur, business owner, and sometimes you have to ask yourself, okay, why do I want to own a business? And it can't just be for profit. And I always said, if I was ever given the opportunity to own a business, I want to give back to the community. I want to be a good corporate citizen. So our first year, we started a campaign. So as we say, we are a freight forwarder business. So obviously, when people ship a package, for every package they ship with us, we give $1 to a local charity or a family or something. So we started out in the first year. It was a success. We even had some clients that wanted to match what we gave. It's something that we started doing, and we just kept it because we felt it was important to give back to the community. Obviously, we're doing business with a lot of people we know in the community. We know some of the challenges that's happening in the community. And we just want to be a good, citizen and give back. In our 3 years, we've also, had summer students, because I remember when I was growing up and I used to work at Foster's and Kirk's doing bagging and carts. I really enjoyed that experience of having a little pocket change. So I wanted to give the opportunity to someone else. So this past summer, we had a summer student, And we've also 2 years in a row we've took on SciFec intern students as well. So it's just a part of what we want to do to give back to the community. To it's not about just profit for us. It's about making Cayman a better place as well.
Anything you have for us for Christmas, Cynthia? Promotion?
No, just come into the store, shop, eat, and have a drink with us.
All right, sounds good. So, anything you want to leave with our listeners before we let you go? We're out of time.
No, first I just thank you and Cynthia. It was a great experience. Really,
I like this.
Yeah, yeah. Cynthia, I really enjoyed, everything. She gave us hope because she talked about where she was, and 15 years in. So it gives us hope that we can build on this, and a lot of things that she shared, it resonates with me and my wife in our business. But just in closing, I just want people to know that you have many choices out there, and we know that people have many choices. But I think what separates us on Pick a Service is that I want our customers and the community to know that we really emphasize on great customer service. We really it's important to us to go that extra mile. It's important for us to know that what we say is truth. We don't mislead clients. We don't take for granted that when your business is important to us, and we do our very best to try to deliver what we say we can do.
All right. Cynthia,
I echo those same exact remarks, to be honest with you. It's thank you for the invitation, and thank you to the listeners out there as well. Take an opportunity to learn about what local businesses are up to, what they're doing. And as I'm going to use the word young because you told me I am, a young Caymanian, it gives me a lot of pride to know that I can stand tall knowing that we too give back to the local community, and I'm look forward to coming back in another 10 years and talking about some of the advancements that Bon Vivant has introduced to the society.
We'll make it not to you. Mrs. Cynthia Hugh, owner of Bon Vivant, Better Living, and Mr. Richard Christian, owner of Pick a Service. I got to say part owner because your wife.
She's the boss.
She's the boss. She's the boss.
Expected.
Thank you guys so much for being on the Business Buzz this morning. Thanks to our sponsors, Cayman Insurance Center and Box Cayman. Without our sponsors, we would not be able to do this. And of course, thanks to you all, our listeners, YouTube viewers, and producer of the show, Miss Susan Watson, and Silver Fox for holding it down this morning until Tuesday, December 5th. Oh, that'll be December 5th when we bring you another Business Buzz. In the meantime, please stay safe and have a wonderful day. From me, your host, Anita Kant. Goodbye.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services.
And Boxed. Email sales@box.ky to place your holiday in a box order.
Follow Radio Cayman on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio Cayman.